any chat?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, we're live.
Good morning.
Good.
We're going to
morning.
readjust this here. So we're getting 1,000 people onto the Kilts Health Coaching course. This is our next target, is getting 1,000 people onto the course. So we make 1,000 coaches.
Spread the word.
To spread the word. And with that, we would like the coaches that have just recently finished the course or completing the course right now to hop on with us. We had a change of plans of guests. And if you would like to share your success story of what you got out of doing this course, please feel free to jump on.
Yeah.
And so again, we're running until the 8th of October, a discount on the course. And if you have any questions, I would love you to email me. I haven't been able to figure out how to do payment plans, but we are accepting payment plans also for the course. Like that's always been a part of it. So
wasn't that part of the Shopify?
Yeah, something's wrong. People tried it and it would run their card fully. So, but I can set up a subscription for people if anyone wants to do a payment plan
Shopify.
as well.
Shopify usually has an option, right?
Yeah. Well, so we'll get that all fixed.
Yeah, Pilar and those teams, someone could help.
Someone can help.
Do we accept PayPal as a payment?
Mm-hmm. If you do PayPal, we accept that as a payment. M-Thrower at
so PayPal has a payment plan built in.
Right.
That we don't get involved with. Basically, PayPal takes care of the of the plan. Yes.
Yeah. I just want to let everyone know there is any way you want to do it. If you have some inkling that you want to do the course at all, I will help you figure out how to do the course. And we're starting October 15th.
We should make a 21-day course.
We will.
Down 21 days, 3 weeks. That's our next level to really help people because they want to get boom. And we'll have different levels, right? Dr. Nelson will be 24/7, 365.
He already is. Wait, so who's jumping in here? Who's in the chat that wants to jump in here?
Cheryl,
Cheryl,
again,
George.
number one is the whole intention is that the Kilts Health Coaching for keto carnivore, not just only meat, not just only plants, but really teaching about generalized health and wellness for all of us. I mean, that's really the goal here. And Dr. Nelson has a wealth of knowledge and information. Alia, the whole team. We have some other people coming on to be part of that, to add to Kilts Health University. Get yourself a associate's degree, a BS, a master's, a PhD, and maybe even an MD degree. The new way of health and wellness, giving everyone the power, right? We got Minnesota here on Instagram. We've got, let's see, all of our Instagram brothers and sisters. Where are you at in this world? Hashtag KMT. What's the giveaway today? What's the prize for being here?
The prize for being here is a t-shirt. Kilts Mighty Tribe t-shirt. But tomorrow we might have something big. I'm not sure.
Yeah, awesome. Minnesota, we got again. We have Jennifer Pierce on Kilts Mighty Tribe, Sarah Franklin, Mary Freed, and it looks like Dr. Kilts is on too. We got Tampa Bay, North Carolina. Awesome.
There's a comment here. I have a question for you, Dr. Kilts. What do you think about eating according to your blood type?
That's a very fascinating idea. And your blood type also is a glycocalyx type, which may have some antigenic properties related to what you eat, for sure. I mean, I don't know that we have any real good science, but we certainly have some theoretical books and ideas on it. I also believe that, by the way, I'm 3 days of salmon for my meals now, which is a whole adventure.
How do you feel eating 3 days of salmon?
I feel awesome. I felt awesome. I feel awesome. And for sure. So
You want to read the comment, Alia, please?
Yeah, Elke says, Papa Carnivore, morning. I was at doctor yesterday and told her of my way of eating, and she asked my blood type A+. She said I should not be eating meat, should mostly be eating veg, some fish, tofu, gross, nuts, seeds. Okay. So we got Papa and we got George back here. Let's do George first, and we'll pop Papa on. But George.
Fortunately, about this comment, I'm O positive, which according to that book or the theory, it should be eating meat. But I think it's really junk science.
I like junk food and junk science.
Yeah.
And so I'm O negative. What's my diet? What should my diet be?
Same. You're supposed to be eating meat if you have negative or positive.
I
you're
think
supposed to be a carnivore.
If your blood type is red, you should be eating meat.
If your blood type's red. Here's George.
George.
I'm here.
How's it
Good
going?
morning.
Yeah.
Everything okay? Can you hear my audio, yeah?
Yes, we hear you.
Excellent. Okay, that's no problems then. Brilliant. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, KMT.
Good morning.
Beautiful day in paradise. George, where are you at in this world again?
I'm in the town of Bridgewater in Somerset in England, which is in the southwest of England between the cities of Bristol and Exeter.
And have you been participating in the course?
I certainly have, Dr. Kilts, absolutely, from day one. I only missed one lesson, and that's when I was flying to Wyoming because you basically sent me there. So that was the only lesson that I actually missed. So there we go.
And tell us how it's going so far. What are your thoughts on greatness, and what can we do to make it better?
Well, it went very well. We finished it this week, and we had the final wrap-up call last night. There was lots of discussions. Alia and the team and Dr. Nelson, they are going to make it better. I thought it was very good, to be perfectly honest with you. The lessons themselves are excellent. The website was a little bit difficult to negotiate on occasions, and I'm still not 100%. But I have to admit, I am a technophobe myself, so I probably am not the best person to talk to about that. I was very lucky in as much as that we formed the WhatsApp group. It was Bob Angle's idea. Stephanie and Nikki Taylor put it into action, and then they made me an admin as well. So I was able to add people, and the people who knew a lot more about the techno side of the course were able to help everybody else. It's a mutual help group. It still exists. There are 42 members. It's very much part of our KMT community now, and we are all continuing to help each other. And it's been active this morning, actually. So, it shows that people are very serious about the community and about the course. And yeah, I highly recommend this course. Quick note, because I'm in the UK and I'm also on a sabbatical now because I've just turned 60 and have picked up a small army pension. So I've given myself the time away from full-time work until January. The course for me happens at 8 p.m. on a Wednesday evening. I've enjoyed it so much that I've accepted the very kind offer that you put in to actually sit the second course. So I'm going to do the I'm going to redo the course again because I enjoyed it so much, basically. So if anybody who is starting the second course as a new course member, expect to see me in the Zoom on a Wednesday night as well, because I absolutely really enjoy doing it, and I've become very good friends with Dr. Nelson, and we always have a chat every week. And I would miss him if I didn't see him every Wednesday evening, to be perfectly honest with you.
I'm lucky I get to see him every day.
And ultimately, we're all really embracing everyone as much as we can to sort of share these ideas that are radical. And again, I think we're getting it's medical school more. It's medical school and more, and we want to sort of give everyone the basics. And partly I think it'll be really great. We bring on some people who have taught anatomy and physiology and biochemistry, and sort of give us some standard, but then break the mold and take us to the levels of what all of this is about. Let's get, maybe get some philosophy in all of this, and psychology and history. Maybe
I'd
even
say-
throw in some religion.
Yeah, I totally agree with all those points, because philosophy, I think one of the most the key things in succeeding in our way of eating is being able to change your mindset. It took me 18 months when I started to change my mindset to going carnivore. I didn't know about carnivore when I started on March the 1st, 2022. All I was told was by a very, very lovely nurse called Katie Moran that all carbs are sugar. And this was after the doctor had failed me miserably, because the doctor diagnosed me with diabetes, morbid obesity, and high triglycerides. She gave me a prescription for metformin and for statins and dismissed me from her office. She never gave me any advice other than to take the prescriptions. Nurse Kathy grabbed me on the way out, took me into her office, and turned my life around. I went home, did the research, threw away the prescriptions. I never took either of those two drugs. And here I am 3.5 years later, 120 pounds down. And the National Health Service in the UK, the nurse Abby, who gave me my last set of tests, declared me cured of type 2 diabetes and said I'm the most spectacular success story that she personally has ever seen. So it just goes to prove that type 2 diabetes is not a life sentence. You do not need metformin and statins. What you need is some good advice from some good people, such as yourselves. And from this, I was very lucky with this nurse. And you have to have a receptive mindset. You have to be prepared to be flexible and do critical thinking. You can heal yourself. You can lose 120 pounds like I did if you need to. And I know that Papa Carnivore was very similar to me. He and I joke that we are the twins from across the pond. So yeah, it's great. So that's the mindset. The religion, yeah, absolutely. I have studied religion for much of my life. I served quite a lot of time in the Middle East, so I've studied Islam and I studied Christianity at school. But I studied it without faith. I studied it as an academic subject. However, the miracle that has happened to me and the miracles I'm seeing out there make me realize that there is a lot more to this universe. This universe is infinite beyond the understanding of the human mind. Therefore, God is part of the universe. Therefore, God is beyond the understanding of the human mind. I can't picture him. There is no picture of God as such. However, all I do know is that I am much more spiritual now. And yes, I do believe in miracles. And I do believe that I do not have a full understanding of the universe. So I'm open-minded to anything. And yeah, and history, it's funny you mentioned history, because I am the self-declared historian on the course, because I'm a lot better with words and languages. I speak a couple of languages as well, Arabic, French, and a little muy poco español. Yeah, so I'm a lot better. I'm more of a word monger than I am science. And I like my stories, Dr. Kiltz. I really do. So I can tell you that I've done a lot of the study of history from the, I intend to be writing a book, as Dr. Nelson suggested last night, on the history of our people and our forerunners, if you like, in our world. The heroes and the villains. So the heroes are people like Dominique Jean Larrey, who was a French surgeon who discovered that feeding his troops horse meat would actually stop them from getting scurvy. And then, of course, we have James H. Salisbury. No, I'm thinking of somebody else. James H. Salisbury, who invented the Salisbury steak. And also in the UK in the 1860s, we had William Banting, who was a low carber, a very highly successful low carber, and who wrote a book about it. And you've got a book in your hand, Dr. Kiltz, so we're going to have a look at it. What's that one? The
James Henry Salisbury.
Oh, no, yeah, James Salisbury, absolutely. Yeah, he's definitely one of the heroes from the 19th century. Yeah. This week I will be doing a Sunday evening. One of my classmates, Nikki from Alberta, Canada, Miss Lafalot is her handle on YouTube, but she's got a channel called Club Carnivore. I will be doing the heroes of the 20th century this week. And that includes Wilhelm Stefansson, who is part of the Bellevue study alongside his colleague Anderson. I will be looking at, I'm trying to think of the next one now. I'm going to jump onto the Randall cycle. Philip Randall, who discovered the Randall cycle in 1963, and also John Yudkin, who wrote Pure, White and Deadly in 1971. He was a direct threat to Ancel Keys, but he was a lot less of a efficient political operator, which meant Ancel Keys was able to discredit him, and poor old John Yudkin disappeared. There is a fourth person. I can't think. I know exactly who it is. It's Dr. Russell Wilder, because I've only just discovered him, and he was the guy who was who led the 1923 ketogenic studies into epilepsy for children. And it was him. He's probably the most important in many ways of all of them, because he actually introduced the term classic ketogenic diet into the lexicon, into the English language. Therefore, we should, all of us who are studying the ketogenic diet, know who Dr. Russell Wilder was, because he's a massively important part of our history. So there's 4 people that I will be getting my teeth into on Sunday night. And I should also include in the 20th century, Dr. Atkins as well, because Dr. Atkins was very much a bridge between the at the two worlds. He was kind of the not a forerunner, because the forerunners were William Banting, but he kind of kept the movement of the ketogenic low carb diet going when it was in danger of disappearing underneath the Ancel Keys jackboot, basically. So that's my take on history. So philosophy, religion, history, health, we cover it all in on the Kilts Mighty Tribe. And the great thing is that when you've actually succeeded, as myself and, for example, Papa Pete over here have done, it gives you the clarity of mind to be able to study these things. The brain fog is gone. The energy is back. I'm more than happy to recommend this course, and I'm very happy to meet you for only the second time, Dr. Kilts. We did speak very, very briefly when I was over in Wyoming and on the Hancock Ranch. Incidentally, I will be returning to Wyoming next year, Dr. Kilts, to go be part of the Riverton City Beef Roundup. I hope to see you there again. And so, that's my take on it. Do you want me to stay on while you talk to Pete?
I think we just need 4 people on the screen. Thanks, George. Thank you
No,
for your
okay,
input.
no worries.
Don't go.
I've had complaints before we've had so many people on the screen.
Complaints from who?
The chat. It's hard to look in concentration.
Yeah, it's always a complainer. And
Okay.
It's okay. We love complainers, right?
Before we go on to Papa Carnivore, do you have a comment, Dr. Kilts, about George's?
Yes, because
Okay.
it's interesting. So Yudkin, it wasn't his inability. It's interesting. The money that was behind sugar,
Right.
there was nothing anyone could do, because nobody cared about fat. And it's interesting. I can't remember the guy's name. I got to find this video. Really great stuff. But the history of sugar is truly history of exploration and exploitation.
Exploitation.
Exploitation,
right?
yes.
And ultimately, it was the development of the most addictive drug in the world, which is plant sugars. And ultimately, all of the movement of the peoples of the world are because of sugar. And between the sugar cane industry and the sugar beet industry, which basically took the need to control the world. But then once the beets were figured out by Napoleon, right? And in France, I mean, it was all over. And the money that controls sugar, which is, again, it's the heroin of the world. And it's sort of like that's our biggest downfall, which exploited slavery and, again, exploitation of people. And we guys that ask, hey, we just want to go explore the world.
Yeah. I need to jump back in here a second, Dr. Kilt. The definitive research on the corruption in the sugar industry was done by a dentist, an American dentist called Dr. Kristin Kearns, Kristin, new word, Kearns. She did a CrossFit, or I think it might be a CrossFit, so I can't remember. But if you look up Dr. Kristin Kearns, influence of sugar on nutrition on YouTube, you will find a 45-minute history of how she uncovered the corruption, how she exposed the Sugar Research Foundation, how she exposed how they influenced the 3 Harvard criminals, corrupt criminals, who claim to be academics, McGandy, Stair, and Hegsted, and how basically the sugar industry was responsible for for basically forwarding Ansel Keys' theory, his hypothesis, which he disproved himself. And yeah, so please go look up Dr. Kristin Kearns. Do find that lecture which she gave, because it is absolutely enlightening. It really is. She did a lot of work with Gary Taubes, I think.
Again, it's all about power and money. That is really truly it. And,
absolutely.
And between tobacco and sugar and then rum and alcohol, right? And we're all basically controlled in a world of marketing for money.
Yeah.
And so what we're doing here online around the globe is sharing the idea that we're giving the power to the people, which is still hard in a world of so much marketing to the things that are truly harmful for us. So go ahead, doctor.
All right. So I have an announcement, which is in the future when we develop a class on the history, George is going to be teaching it. By the way, I want to take one of the questions out of order. It's actually the last one in the list here.
Good.
You want to read that, Alia?
Yeah. So Linnea and Chuck, can we do the course just for learning purposes and not to do any coaching work, at least for now? And the answer is
absolutely yes. And I think probably half the class right now that graduated was doing it for this purpose.
Yeah.
Well, that should be first and primary for all of us. We're simply, life is learning.
Yes.
And it's a life of learning, and we're creating a university which we want to make it so really as nominally an investment that everyone could afford it in one way or another. And then how can we sort of, once you're already gone through it, you could continue to be part of it without having to spend more money in it. But any new class is obviously a new investment, but then you're always part, because we want to expand the teachers for all. It's just an expansive teaching experience. Most important thing. And I learned from, online YouTube. This is the place. Instagram, Facebook, all these things.
That's right. Michael Smith would like to know, how long are the courses times how much involved a week? So there's a call that's 2 hours a week that's live with Dr. Nelson, and maybe an extra hour or 2 hours of study. Correct, Dr. Nelson? Depending on how fast you study.
Roughly should be about a couple of hours of additional study on your own, but we spend 2 hours on the presentation, and it's at the moment it's a 3 months course. We do 12 pretty intensive classes, and
we're going to be adding more courses and instructors as we expand this over time. To, as we talked with George, expanding ideas and connections and bringing in more people with different knowledge and experience of these things.
That's right. So, Michael, you can sign up on Kills Mighty Tribe if you like, or if you have more questions, please feel free to email me. I wanted to pop
Peter.
Oh, let me just pop this in real quick.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
Sorry, Peter. I got to say this.
Good morning, brother. How you doing?
Hey, I'm wearing my KMT hat. I'm wearing my KMT shirt. Okay, I'm all decked out. KMT. You can't get any more KMT than you got right here, brother.
and again, we're sharing ideas that are critical for our brothers and sisters who are suffering. My sister Mary Ann died of diabetes. A good friend Dave died of cancer, 52, both of them. And too many people are suffering, and the modern medical system is still, here's another drug and the healthy diet, which is eat more vegetables.
Well, and I recently lost two good friends, both 57 years old, both skinny, eating a healthy rainbow diet, what they thought, they were very, quote unquote healthy. My cousin Alan died at 61. That's 2 years younger than me. He was also quote unquote healthy, ate a very plant-based, I would say almost vegetarian kind of diet. Went out for a run, came home from the run, was at his little computer in his office while he was cooling off and just dropped dead of a heart attack. Age 61. And so, look, I think a lot of people think eating a healthy plant-based diet, and because they're skinny and they run, whatever, they seem healthy. They were not healthy. I mean, because they passed at two of them from one diabetes complications. He was a TOFI. Everyone knows what a TOFI is, right? Then on the outside, fat on the inside. But he died from complications of diabetes. The other one from cancer, lymphoma. And they were all sugar addicts in a way, because all those plants, guys, is plant sugars. I don't care. I mean, may seem great, but it's all that. Now, there's two books. I'm sorry, I got all these ideas that as George was talking. There's two books that I want to recommend. One is a book by Nina Teicholz called The Big Fat Surprise. Anyone who wants to know the history of, how saturated fat became demonized and how, the seed oil industry got started and all this plant-based, the whole thing with Ansel Keys, read that book. That's required reading. Gary Taubes also has some great books too. But the big book that Dr. Kiltz was talking about, sugar and the rum and all this stuff. How did sugar get so prominent? There's a book by William Duffy called Sugar Blues. It's from the 1970s. Yeah. You got to get this book. I have the first edition copy of this book, Sugar Blues by William Duffy, that talks about sugar, and it's just incredible, and how how demonizing and how bad sugar is.
I was listening to OTR Food and History. OTR Food and History. It's YouTube, and this guy's really great, and love his stories around the globe. It's all about food. Yeah. And but one of his best ones was it's called The Worst Story in Food History: How Sugar Destroyed Everything. Yeah. And again, he's really entertaining, concise, and tells really how we're here today in the mess we're in. And so interesting. So and I was talking recently about my CAC score. It went from 600 to 700 to 800 over 3 years. Okay. Now, what does it mean? Don't know. But my familial hypercholesterolemia, my mother and father had it. They lived to 94, but my father did have 5-vessel bypass, and my My grandmother lived 104, smoked Pall Malls and drank Manhattans. And maybe Dr. Nelson can tell me the exact test that we can do that tell you when you're going to die and what up.
Well, Dr. Kiltz, my grandmother lived to be 104. She was a little fat lady, and she was fat. I mean, she was huge. But I got to tell you, she ate every morning eggs and butter. You know, she ate very clean. You know, she ate meat for dinner. She really only ate twice a day. And she basically was doing carnivore. I mean, for the most part, she would have a little bit of non-starchy veg, and she did eat some potatoes because she's Russian, you know, but 104, and she was fat. So when everyone says, oh my God, fat is unhealthy, fat is bad. No, it's not. My grandmother lived to 104 and was maybe 4'11" and 200 pounds. I'm not joking.
My grandmother, Jill Semina, lived to 88. She died of liver cancer. She was an amazing woman. She was a little fat Italian woman. Yeah. And again, my other grandmother who lived 104, smoked Pall Malls, drank Manhattans. You know, the challenge here is okay, what do we know and how can I predict your lifespan? And maybe George could comment about this. And, you know, is it quality or quantity that we're really here to provide a better enjoyable lifestyle without all the drugs, dissections, diseases, and ultimately, but it still doesn't say you're going to live to 100 or 90 or 80 or 70 or 60.
Can we take some questions?
Yeah, we'll get it. George, we lost. Unmute George for a second.
I'm back.
Yeah. What's your comment?
Yeah, I think it's a personal one, really. It's the story of my two parents about the quality of life. So my mother lived to the age of 90. Bless her, she did very well. However, in her mid 80s, she went down with vascular dementia. So for 5 years, she was basically bedbound and housebound. And whenever I used to go and see her, we had, I think, a three-topic conversation which went round in circles. One was, where are you working now? Where do you live? Four. But, do you see your brother Roger? Where does he live? And then, are you going on holiday? And are you afraid of sharks when you go swimming? And that was a conversation which would last for 2 hours, and we would go round and round. It would be repeated on repeat. So it was very sad to see her like that for the last 5 years of her life, because she was not the vibrant charity worker, for example, that I remembered from my childhood. On the other hand, my father, who died in 2016 at the age of 94, he was one of those everything in moderation type guys. He did eat roast meat and everything, so he ate sensibly, and he was very anti-sugar. That's one point about my father, as in he was anti-sugar in the sense of eating these sweetened sugars, but he did eat a lot of the plant sugars. However, he also believed in moderate exercise. He didn't believe in running because he said that the human body was not naturally made necessarily to do it. But he did a lot of walking, including hill walking, and he loved being out in his vegetable garden, digging, and all the stretching and singing while he did it, because he was always happy. He was well known for that. He was a bit of a joke in the family. But he lived to the age of 94, and in the March of 2016, I took him up to his granddaughter, my niece's wedding. He very much enjoyed it. But in May of that year, he was struck down with pneumonia, the old man's friend, and he was hospitalized. But to be fair to him, when the doctor said, "Oh, you're going to have to stay in here for about a week," he said, "I'm going home tonight, doctor, because I'd rather die at home than stay one more second in this god-awful place." So he came home. I went and saw him on his 94th birthday on July the 17th of that 2016. He was on a walker. The quality of his life had gone. He sat down and he said, "George, I don't know that I'm coming back from this." And that was his prediction. I think he was tired. He didn't have a quality of life anymore. He was ready to go. Early August, in other words, 2 weeks later, he passed. But this is a contrast between my mother, who suffered from dementia, maybe Alzheimer's, vascular dementia, and she lost the quality of her life for 5 years, and it was sad to see. My father had the quality of life up until May of 2016 when he got hit by pneumonia. Within 2 months, he was gone, but he only ever had 2 months lack of quality of life. I would much rather be in my father's shoes than my mother's, and I honestly believe that by following the the therapeutic carbohydrate restriction that we are following, I am more likely to meet a sudden death rather than a prolonged lingering death. I mean, I was going to say, everything is risk versus reward in this life. When you eat a pizza or a Snickers bar, you are taking a risk, and what is the reward? It is instant dopamine. But what is the long-term risk? It is going to be your long-term health. But I mean, every one of us makes risk assessments every second of every day. When we go down the stairs, if we put our hand on the handrail, it's to stop us falling. We've done a risk assessment. We've assessed that there is a risk of falling, so we take measures. When we cross the road, what do? We look left, we look right. We assess the risk before we go. So we have to make risk assessments in the way we eat as well. I have chosen to make a risk assessment, and I have decided that sugar, seed oils, and fiber are not worth the risk to my health. So that's my views on quality of life and longevity. Thank you for asking, Dr.
Say one quick thing. One quick thing before you go. You know, everyone jokes around about Rick the Duckman being crazy. Let me tell you something about Rick. He says, I started this diet when he was a teenager to give himself a heart attack, right? And he jokes around that, I'm going to get a heart attack one day. I'm going to just fall over and die. Well, you know what? I think that's me. I keep saying to Rick, where's that big heart attack? You keep promising me. I'm waiting. I'm clutching at my chest. I think that, the way I'm living, one day, I'm going to maybe drop right dead, boom, or in my sleep. But I really think that the quality of my life all the way to the bitter end is going to be fantastic. And that's what I'm going for. I don't want to see myself like my grandmother who got dementia. Same thing, George. And for the last 5 to 7 years of her life, she didn't even know who she was.
Yeah, can I just say that Rick's in the thing, and I actually bought this duck especially for when I was going to be interviewing Rick. So this is Rick the duck. He lives on my desk now, and whenever we mention Rick, he always takes a flight across the screen. So there we go.
We have to make sure there's some entertainment in all of this. Dry fasting. Who wants to take this one? How long can you do it safely? And Dr. Nelson has the 22 day of no food. I've got 15. I've done 3 days of dry fasting, nothing more yet. Any thoughts on this from Peter, Papa, or George?
Yeah, I have some thoughts, Dr. Kiltz. I have a great friend who lives 28 miles from me here in the UK called Lauren Tucker. I believe that you talk to her regularly about dry fasting, or fasting anyway. I think you know Lauren, don't you, Dr. Kiltz?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I went to lunch with her back along. She was talking about dry fasting. It's not something which I've done myself, but she was extolling the virtues of it. And we also have a member of the KMT called Stephanie Taylor, there is a rumor that you were talking to her last night. Is that right, Dr. K?
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So she is a stage 4 ovarian cancer sufferer. She is also a very close friend of mine, and also Lauren's. We all three of us spoke at the Great British Meetup back in August, so we are all very close, and we're also on the committee for the next one, all of us. Now, thanks to Lauren, and therefore by extension yourself, Stephanie has actually picked up on the idea of dry fasting to help her fight the stage 4 ovarian cancer, which is very, very dangerous. And she's only been given a 15% chance of surviving 5 years, 85% chance that she won't. However, as she says, she is living her best life now by being very strict carnivore, and she has more energy and more actual health, even with cancer and chemo, than she has throughout her life. And that is an incredible achievement. And I can vouch for this because I know Steph very well. I went out for dinner with her 2 weeks ago over at a hotel near her house in Wales. And she, you would not imagine that that girl is on chemotherapy, but she's actually adopting now the dry fasting. And I can't remember the name of the book which Lauren recommended to her, which she was reading while she was on holiday. You might know it, Dr. Kiltz. But no, that's just my take on it. I have two very, very close friends in the community here in the UK who have adopted dry fasting, and they absolutely swear by it. So that's my thoughts on dry fasting.
Dr. Nelson?
No comments. Specific. I mean, as far as dry fasting, Lois, I personally, I'm trying to remember. I did do something like 40 some hours was what I did as far as dry fasting.
Look at the Phoenix Protocol, dry fasting for rapid healing and radical life extension, August Dunning. Again, doing something hard. Your body makes water, but we drink too much fluids anyway. And 50,000 years ago, who was carrying the water? And look at many other animals that go on many, many long journeys for food and water, and go days and sometimes longer. And bears hibernate, drink nothing, eat nothing, and so our bodies make water when they make proteins and they make ATP.
Yeah, absolutely, Dr. Kiltz, because the camel over in the Middle East has got the nickname the ship of the desert. And the reason that it was such a good thing for camel trains across the desert is because it doesn't need to drink water for a long, long period of time on account of the fact that it has the hump, which is basically fatty deposits. And that is how it both feeds itself and actually keeps itself hydrated by using its own body for that purpose.
Well, and so adipose tissue is the most important tissue in our body, which contains every mineral, vitamin, nutrient our body requires for its moment-to-moment existence. And water is made from that. And so ultimately, your fat contains everything. And many animals, like a camel, again, they live in a very hot world, but they're not sweating. And so, our mechanisms of maintaining our water, depending on our environment that we evolved in. And so I think that we have to rethink all this science about, we're drinking way too much, which probably has adverse effects on our homeostatic mechanisms.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that are drinking way too much water, and as Dr. Berry always says, then you're putting stress on your kidneys. It's really not good to drink too much water. You're wearing out your kidneys.
Next question, Alia. You're muted because you're not on screen, I think.
There's the busiest person.
There she is. She's back.
I'm back. That's so funny. I'm talking to myself. I'm going to be live with Juliet tonight. She wants to know all the secrets of working for Dr. Kiltz. She wants to know all the behind the scenes of working at Kiltz Health. So we're going to talk about that.
and we really want to build our foundation of, once you're in the tribe, once you've done the course, you could continue to expand and be part of it. That's the part that I think is really important, that we can, everyone's admitted into this. We want to make sure that it is a reasonable price that we can create. Like maybe we create a monthly, which gives more access to all of these for rather than that sort of that one-time course cost. We can do something a little bit different. And once you're there, you're always part of the alumni and always welcome back into the group. And we teaching each and every one of us. And
Dr. Nelson and I have some ideas of some things to put the coaches to work. So we're working on a plan right now, and we will release it soon enough. Elke, what animal do you see saying, "Hey, I'm type A, I can't eat the meat"? This is Dr. Kiltz type of question. The human.
A lion that doesn't eat meat becomes meat.
That's right.
And
a lion doesn't? eat meat. We don't see vegan lions.
Well, and we're lions. And so I don't eat meat. I'm eating fish now.
I'm gonna start eating fish to do that with you. I'm gonna eat fish.
That's all good.
I got a bunch of fish in my.
Wait, I got to show you guys this.
Aw.
Yeah.
It's a lion hat. See the lion? It's a lion.
I love it.
And
Look.
it says king. You see next to it, it says king.
Yeah.
That's my carnivore hat. I'll put that on.
Dr. Nelson, we have a request from Elkie that you put a hat on, so all the men are matching with hats on.
Well,
it doesn't. I have my black cap on, but it doesn't come through well.
It's good. It's fine.
the gray one. Where's that gray one? You had it
The
on.
gray one looks worse because for some reason.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it
Oh,
doesn't look
yeah.
good. No, go with the black.
I like it when Dr. Nelson wears the black ones. It makes us look like brothers. So yeah.
There you
Yeah, well, we're trying to get the Nelson hat with KMT on it.
Yeah.
And
We-
Dr. Nelson.
We already have it, by the way. It's not finished, the embroidering, but it's in the process.
Well, I just got my new hat, Tiger Woods hat, which is a tiger. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, I'll take one of those. My friend, I'm a NATO golfer, not attached to outcome.
I wanted to make a comment on the salmon. I've been taking omega-3 from salmon for a long time, every day. And I also eat salmon probably 4 times a month.
Yeah, I just had some salmon. I would say I eat salmon maybe once a week. So probably 4 times a month for sure. And I mix that in, mostly beef. But now I've been eating more pork and chicken just because the cost of beef. But I pretty much mix it up. But I would say 80% beef.
Yeah, there's a useful acronym called SMASH, which tells you, reminds you which fish are the oily ones. That is salmon, mackerel, anchovies, sardines, and herring. So if you're thinking what fish to eat, just think of the word SMASH and think of those 5 fish, and you won't go far wrong with those because they are oily and they have lots and lots of omega-3, which brings the balance of omega-3 and omega-6 back into line, which should be about 1 to 1. When you're eating seed oils, it's totally out of kilter. But yeah, SMASH, and do eat oily fish. Very good.
Next question.
How much salmon are you eating, and are you still eating 1 meal a day?
I eat 1 meal a day at night, and it's maybe 2 fistfuls of salmon. 8 ounces
There you go.
times 2, 16 ounces. Pound.
So a pound. You're eating a pound of meat.
About
A pound. Okay.
of salmon.
There you go.
Put some butter on it, black and blue.
There you go. I don't know about black and blue salmon, but you'll get me there, Dr. Kiltz. Yet. I'm not there
I
yet.
eat it.
Okay.
I eat it raw.
Red
You
and
do?
raw.
Salmon?
I do
Yeah.
too.
You eat
Red
salmon
and
raw?
raw.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
that's
can-
Dr.
Sashimi.
Kiltz
That's
does.
called sashimi.
yeah, it's
the best.
delicious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Rick Perez says that his blood type used to be maple syrup.
Yeah, can I just make a quick comment on eating raw in general? Because I never actually had a chance to talk to Dr. Kiltz about that.
Sure.
When Dr. Kiltz says eat raw, Dr. Kiltz, I do eat raw. I eat most of my steak raw. I'm wrapping a 10-ounce lamb steak when you made the call earlier, which I was about to eat raw. What I do is I fry a couple of eggs off, and I have and cover it with butter, and put a couple of eggs on top to give a bit of heat and a bit of texture. But nearly everything which I eat normally, I eat raw because it's. I believe I've benefited from it. I'm not a strict. I'm not one of these zealots who says eat everything raw, because my wife Lainey likes to cook, and we eat a lot of premium meat at the weekend. And when she does the cooking, I'm quite happy to eat cooked meat. But she knows to cook it rare, or black and blue, as you call it. But whenever you talk about eating raw on here, I always put in the comments, I eat raw, but I appear to be virtually alone amongst the KMT. So I don't know why that is, because you advocate it, I advocate it. I feel that I've benefited from it, but as I said, I'm not a zealot, because the carnivore is very good no matter how you're doing it. But yeah, just to let you know, Dr. Kiltz, I do eat raw.
Yeah, it's
Mostly
the best.
raw.
It's
So
the
there you
best.
go.
I mean, ultimately, you hunted, killed, and you didn't wait for the cook, because if
Yeah.
you did, someone else was gonna catch your meal and
Yeah.
and eat it.
See,
Yeah, I
Brisket.
would, I just want to say I used to eat my meat before all this carnivore stuff when I was regular, whatever, sad diet. I used to eat my meat like medium to medium well done. I thought, oh my God, that bloody steak. My mom used to love the bloody steak, and I thought she was crazy. Well, now I eat my steak. I just sear it a little bit. I touch it on both sides in a cast iron pan and tallow. The center, I like it completely raw, like,
Yeah.
like raw to rare, like super rare, like I'd say black and blue. And I got to tell you, I love it. I feel better with more raw, and the fat that's in there is completely raw inside, and it's the best.
Yeah, I agree. And again, if you look at Pottinger's Cats, great book, that basically, I think it's kind of like if you burn the wood before you build the house is not as strong because the molecular structure of the molecules that we get from the food are damaged. And so that's why I think rare to raw, black and blue, or straight raw is probably the best. But it all depends on where you're getting your food. I mean, the searing, it's gonna kill the microbes that have attached to the outside. But if you think about it, dry aged meat, the mold on the outside actually may be healthy for us, and part of the proper microbiome in the right environment. But again, it depends how long it's been sitting out on the range before you are on the road.
next question.
Let's see the next question. So this is Mr. Cast Iron, Mike. What times are the classes, and then will they be recorded for later reference? Also, homework, internet-based, form, book form. So, Dr. Nelson.
So the classes are online on a Zoom call, usually about 2 hours, and all the assignment materials are digital. They're online, posted on your on the website we have for the certification course. And you don't have to have a we even provide you with about 4 different books, and they're all in digital form.
Yeah, can I just point out that the books are in digital form. However, I've just taken the course, and I just think it's a good idea to actually get yourself a copy of that one. I think we all recognise it, and also Babies for Babies, because it's just easier to have them at your desk. They live in my drawer next to me now, so I've always got them for a quick reference. But as Dr. Nelson says, everything that you actually need in reading form is on the course itself. But I just think it's useful to have these.
And it's not only reading material, but you have video overviews, audio overviews, you have quizzes. So you
It's
have
very interactive.
many ways of learning the information that is not necessarily only by reading.
Yeah. And there was a question there, are they for later reference? Yes, I'm in the process of going back and listening from week 1, day 1 to all of the Zoom calls. I will be doing that this week. It does take some time, but as I said, I'm on a sabbatical from work at the moment, which is why I can be here with you today. So I do have that advantage, but that's my intention to go back and review the entire
and the
course.
Zoom calls are recorded for the students to review. Nobody that's not part of the course, unfortunately, at the moment, has any access to that. If you're part of the class, you'll have a chance to see the Zoom call again over and over and over again.
Let's see. We got I think we answered this already, right? Oh yeah, we did answer this. Like you can just do the certification course to learn. I think somebody else asked.
And you know, that's the foundation of what this is, that we spread the word and we get a chance to have more knowledge, each of us, that we can teach our healthcare practitioners, our doctors, right? Because we're you know, there may be a time you need them from time to time, but much of the time our healing is, I mean, basically we're all sick because we're poisoned by a plant protein low fat diet and 3 to 6 meals a day. I mean, what are your thoughts on more food restricted living, meaning that more fasting and less grazing? Peter, George?
Yeah, obviously fasting triggers autophagy. Autophagy is important because it's the body's cleanup system. It's a bit like when you have an industrial shutdown in the summer so that the all the maintenance can be done. So if you actually go into a decent fasting period, then autophagy is triggered. Auto means self, phagy means eating. So it's basically you are consuming yourself. What happens is that all the damaged cells, all the old cells, all the tired cells, the ones that are most at risk of mutating into cancer, for example, the body goes around and cleans those up, recycles them, uses them again. And so basically it is kind of it puts you, it's like a factory shutdown, and it enables the maintenance team to get out there and carry on the maintenance. When I was healing myself, I used to fast every week. Now I put in therapeutic fasts every now and again when I feel that they're sensible. Usually about once a month, I'll do probably a 60-hour fast, usually between Sunday evening and Wednesday morning. I do feel that it's important to put your body into autophagy every now and again to get rid of the defective, damaged mitochondria and to stop the cancer from taking hold. So that's my view on that.
Yeah, you know, if they're trying to clean the house while you're in the midst of making a mess, it doesn't do very well.
That's a good analogy.
And I like the shop idea. You know, whatever it is, you have to take some time away from filling it with all the junk. And really, we're putting in the digestible material, because even as a carnivore, digestion does create some inflammatory particles. That's just the nature of burning fuel, right? It's oxidative. And so, and we're always going to be burning. What we want to do is we want to get rid of what's in the gut. And so getting the gut empty, I think it takes at least 3 days. And I'm doing a regular 3-day fasting, I think is really powerful.
Great. Oh, we got to do the giveaway. Hashtag KMT, everybody, for a t-shirt. I'm going to make sure everyone gets a t-shirt one of these days.
By the way, Dr. Kills, this comment here is Jerry, who does a 40-day fast every year. And by the way, her 40-day fast includes all the coming holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas. During that time, she does a 40-day fast.
Yeah, and again, we're built for fasting. And you know, imagine there's no stores, there's no farms, no ranches, nobody's producing food. You've got to go out there and hunt and gather for survival. And that's truly who and what we are.
There was like a little technical issue on this. So if you guys want to just pop in hashtag KMT into the chat, then I'll do it in 1 minute to get some more people into the
yeah.
We can answer another question.
Steve Marks from KMT. I did a 6-day dry fast. It did help me. Blood pressure off meds now. Blood glucose down from 130 down to 86. So that's really, again, our job here. And again, my intention for the course, once you've invested in the course,
Want to go for a walkie?
you could continue to monitor it and be part of it. And again, if we we're going to create new courses on history, religion, all other areas, I think are really powerful. And you know, added courses, there may be, again, some added fees or added benefits. And that's the part that we're really sharing around the globe. And connecting with our brothers and sisters around the globe in all sorts of groups for KMT. You know, that's where we want to spread the word. And when's the next meetup in England, George?
We're having a small invitation one on November the 15th. We haven't been able to get enough interest to make it a ticketed one, but Lauren and myself are hosting it fairly near where we are. We've got about 20 people coming, including Andrew Scarborough, the glioblastoma survivor. However, next year it's June the 13th, Dr. Kiltz, and I'm very much hoping that you're going to get there because apparently you're coming over.
He's going to be there. He's
Okay.
going to
Yeah,
be there.
yeah.
I put it on the schedule. Plus,
And-
you're going to be a whole month in the UK. You've got 2 huge events to do next year in the UK.
Exactly. So so June the 13th next year, Dr. Kiltz. You'll be in Somerset with me. I'm not sure what your schedule is after that, but if you've got time, I'll find you a decent hotel here. I know there's one just up the road. And if you want to go and see Stonehenge, Glastonbury, where cheddar is made, I can organise that as well. Before you move on to your next venue. Somerset is very historical. As I said, you can go and see where cheddar originated from. You can go and see Glastonbury Tor and Glastonbury Abbey, Stonehenge. Oh, and one which will interest you, we have the Naval Aviation Museum, literally about 10 minutes down the road, the Fleet Air Arm Museum, as it's called. And I'm sure you will be interested in going to go and see the plane. So, yeah, I look forward to hosting you at the meetup, and I look forward to showing you around my home county, of which I am very proud, and we've got a lot of history.
All right, awesome. We'll look forward to it. All right,
All
Carnivore
right.
Junkie. All right,
Junkie,
Ollie at
congratulations.
drgilf.com. Dr. Nelson, what do you have later today?
We have Katie Sarko at 3 p.m.
And
in this same channels, same bat channels.
same bat channel, same bat time, different bat time. And at 5:30, if you are a premium member of the Kiltz Mighty Tribe,
Yes,
Dr. Kiltz and Jenny Middich
Oh,
answering
wow.
all of your questions. So get your butt in there.
So we have our inaugural Zoom call for the
inaugural.
Yeah, it's the first on the higher tiers. You have to be a
Sign up.
member of that tier and go to drkills.com and the Kiltz Mighty Tribe to find the information there.
And one
That's right.
last shout out. Everyone go to Mitch, Old Guy Carnivore, immediately following the
Yes.
program.
Yes.
Shout out.
Yes.
Mitch, great.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you. All right.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everybody.